Now, the only reason I studied chemical engineering in college, so I went to Villanova to fast forward. My AP chemistry teacher, unprovoked, told me that I wasn't smart enough to be a chemical engineer. Now, to give y'all backstory, I was the only black girl in my class. So, like, it was just me, right? Kicking it, chilling. I was, like, really cool with the administration because I wasn't really, not that I didn't have friends in high school, like, I did, but, like, it was very clear that I was, like, the only black girl in, like, the class. And my class was, like, 435 people. I know that because I was the president of my class as well. So, like, that was, like, a weird dissonance or dichotomy.
This is in high school or college?
This is high school.
Okay.
So senior year, second semester, or second half of the year, so like third, fourth marking period, my teacher unprovoked is like, like, you're not smart enough to be a chemical engineer. Like, I think you should pick something else. Mind you, I had an A in the class. I'm like, hello? Why did you say that? So I eventually applied to one school, Villanova, as a chemical engineer. I applied to like, I think 7 other schools as a chemistry major, got into Villanova, financial aid package looked real nice. Went to Villanova, studied chemical engineering. It was hard. We could talk about that. And then I started working as a scientist. And now I actually went back after graduation, even though I graduated in 2020. I went back to my high school and told my AP Chem teacher that I was a chemical engineer. No, for sure. No, for sure. She said, I knew that you don't do that. Do not do that.
That's the whole story when the rappers say my teachers told me I wasn't going to be nothing.
No, literally.
No, I'm pulling up and I'm going to say, remember when you said, right.
Blind, do you ever had that situation where a teacher told you?
No.
Or a counselor?
Or a counselor? Any person older than you told you couldn't be nothing?
No.
No? You're lucky.
Because I've always been that one.
No,
wow.
I'm sorry.
So everybody always believed in you?
Yes.
Wow.
That's such a blessing. I'm happy you had that.
Tough. Damn. All right, so I gotta tell my story real quick. Like I gotta tell it real quick. So when I was I went to high school, right? I went to 2 high schools when I was in high school, right? Okay. My first high school was a white high school. It was called Monsignor Bonner, right? Okay. And it was like same like your story. I was in all honors classes when I came from grade school. Right. But the way that it worked in my in the system was that your teacher had to place you in the honors class. Right. And my teacher, who was a white lady named Miss McKenna, shout out to Miss McKenna. I mean, rest in peace, Miss McKenna. She put me in honors class. Cool. And so I was in honors class for my first year, in all like across the board, right? But the things that I was really into was English and history. Okay. And so my sophomore year, I asked my teacher, he was a white male teacher. I asked him, could I be in AP English? And the only way you stay in honors English is if you pass with a certain grade. Word. Because they cut the class in half as you move up.
That's annoying.
That's crazy, right? So I asked if I could go.
Why did they do that?
That's what I'm saying. They started out with 60. Then if you go to sophomore year, it's 30. Then if you go to AP, it's 15. Like that or whatever like that. So I asked to go to AP English my junior year. And he said, what make you think you smart enough to do that? Right? And then this in front of the class though. This in front of the
That's my thing. Unprovoked.
You feel what I'm saying? I didn't. We could have talked about this in private. You
could have after class.
You feel what I'm saying? You could have said that later. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we was reading some book, and we was reading some whatever book, and he like, tell me what the word vernacular mean. I'm always gonna remember this, the exact word and exact like the whole thing. He like, tell me what the word vernacular means, and I didn't know. I really didn't know. I'm like, I don't know. Right. He started laughing. Went to the teacher on the next hall. Like we in my class, right in front of the class. He go to the teacher in the other hall. He's talking about you know this kid. He tried to be an AP. He don't even know what the word vernacular mean. Other teacher look uncomfortable. He like, man, this kind of weird.
Isn't that literally your job to teach you what vernacular means?
The other teacher look uncomfortable. Like this kind of weird.
You thought you ate, huh?
I'm embarrassed. My whole class white people, of course. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? My whole class white people. I wasn't even embarrassed. Like I started embarrassed, and then my anger started creeping up. So now by the end, I'm mad. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? You feel what I'm saying? I can't be an AP. It was no grounds for that. Like you said, like how you had an A, I had an A. Like I made the last cut. Why can't I make the next cut? Right. You feel what I'm saying? So, long story short, I left that school.
Word.
because the next English teacher I got, I had to get moved out of that class, whatever. I got another English teacher.
Okay.
I wrote a paper. I
Okay.
was mad. You see what I'm saying? I was mad because the last English teacher said I couldn't make it in AP, so I was
Right.
in honors again, not AP.
Right.
And I wrote my ass off. I wrote my ass off, and the teacher called me. At least he did it right this time. But
Right.
he called me after class. He like, I know you didn't write this. Like, another white man. He like, I know you didn't write this. I'm gonna give you a chance to do it again.
Why do you think you didn't write it?
It was too good. He said, I know you didn't write this.
Don't piss me off.
And so at this time I was fed up. I was fed up. So I snapped on him bad. Like, I was trying to be on my best behavior because I was in a white school and all that. I was trying to act good. That was my last day at that school. And then in college I ended up, so you know how you get the AP credits, you don't gotta
Yeah.
take the class in college.
Yeah.
I ended up testing out of high school, so I
Right.
didn't have to take the class in college, just like I told them I would.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And I was the first in my college history to be a black man that worked in the writing center for all 5 years, and the school selected me from the first year and the first black man to present from Bloomsburg at the National Writing Conference. You feel what I'm saying? I had to pop it because of you. I was going to say your name, but I'm going to spare you. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
Good for you.
Yeah. So
Good
your
for
story
you.
reminded me of that.
Yeah.
So back to college.